I feel like we should ask this. Are you a longtime Kevin Smith? Like, have you watched all of his films?
I think I've seen every Kevin Smith movie except Yoga Hosers.
I've
And
never heard of that one before.
yeah, I'm good on it.
They say it's bad. The Kevin Smith guys say it's very bad.
Is it like his first one? Is it like before, or is it because I've literally never heard of it? And I feel like I did sort of follow his career at one point.
It came out a few years ago. It's got his daughter and Johnny Depp's daughter, I believe.
Oh, it sounds like and it somehow wasn't good. So this is a new one. Okay, that's crazy because it came out to zero fanfare then.
Somehow a fits in some way with Tusk too, his other movie.
Oh, that one I have heard of, but that one was a huge bomb as well, right?
Well, I don't think anything he does bombs, to tell you the truth, because I think he has like a set of fans that will like enough that like they'll break the budget. You know what I mean? Like I saw that Clerks 3's budget was $7 million, which for movies is like it's $2 million less than Clerks 2 that they made it for. Like his movies don't cost anything to make.
Yeah, people just do the movies because they're like they get to be in a Smith joint. You know what I mean? It's like it's kind of cool to be able to throw it on the old resume to be like you worked with one of the great auteurs.
I think you're being a smart ass. What's your Smith fandom?
Well,
like?
I think I am of the age where I was obsessed with Mallrats and what's the other one where they're Dante? They're at the Clerks. Yeah, of course, Clerks. Yeah, sorry, you just mentioned.
That's his big one.
That's the
Clerks, but Mallrats was Clerks is his big one. Obviously, made it, but so I liked Clerks. Mallrats though, I was obsessed with.
Yeah, me too.
Like me and everyone that we knew, we would just say all the lines from it. We would watch it. It was like one of those movies that we would watch over and over and over again as a group of friends. And I don't think Clerks was like that. I watched Clerks a lot of times, but it wasn't like it didn't have the same thing. Like I remember just the idea of the stink palm and things like that. Like we just thought some of the things in Mallrats was some of the funniest stuff ever. And I guess that was at the age of 12, maybe 13. So I think it's real teenage humor.
Jason Lee, I think, in Mallrats is at the time when I was watching it when I was a teenager was like, that's the coolest guy you could ever possibly be.
And he was so cool. And then when you like looked into him, you're like, and he was like a pro skater, so he like actually was cool in real life compared to the other actors. That was I looked up to him a lot, definitely. Rob, did you I think Rob is maybe like a little bit younger, but what's your favorite Smith?
My favorite Smith?
Favorite Smith? Like what's your go-to Smith? Like if you're like if you were having like a Smith fest, like a Smith Film Festival, what would be your like headlining night, closing night?
There's something really comforting about Clerks still.
That
was like the first movie with edge I ever saw, I think.
Yeah, it was in black and white if I recall correctly, which is very interesting. I prefer movies in color personally, but it was an interesting choice to not pay for the color on that.
Well, it was color did he do that on because there's arguments going on in the Kevin Smith sphere that he did black and white. Because
he did it, he forgot. I think he just forgot to put the colors in. That's what I heard.
I mean, that also could be that he did it on purpose, so it's supposed to look like a surveillance camera.
Well, I think he definitely did it on purpose.
He explains this in Clerks 3 as Silent Bob, who is directing that movie's version of Clerks.
Oh, I see.
I was the only one in the theater for Clerks 3, and it was a midnight showing, and I alone made the Cinemark staff have to stay an extra 2 hours of work, and I feel terrible about it.
Oh yeah.
Well, you're the customer.
For Clerks 3,
bro. I was
where they're making meta self-referential. There's nothing that gets me more upset when I'm watching a movie than when they do stuff like that. Like, I just lose.
They film the movie.
Exactly. They're like, I'm making the movie in the movie, and I'm making references to what we did in the, and it's like, just make a movie for me to watch.